What's up, you cobalt-kitted kobold kissers? Time to go over the 4 most Googled questions about Dark and Darker and try to answer them to the best of my Spider Mummy 3 rank having ass ability. Comment below right now what you think the most asked question about Dark and Darker is on Google. And if you comment, when is Dark and Darker, LOL, I'll come at you like a duck pond swan, pal. Starting off at number 4. How do I get out of Dark and Darker? It offers a multitude of fun ways to escape or even continue your adventure down into the depths and see what awaits. The easiest way to escape any of the dungeons is by finding the stairways to heaven. They are now easily findable right on your mini map as little cute tiny little they're like real cute tiny little blue stairs. Next, look for portals as an easy way to escape the never-ending clench fest happening in your butthole. You're praying to the demigods that there isn't a rogue hiding around every single corner. These are also viewable on your mini-map as tiny Temu versions of Rick Sanchez's portal fluid. Now remember, these need to be opened and they take a little bit of time. So, use them to your advantage by possibly baiting somebody into thinking that they have an easy escape, or do what I do. Open them up, continue looting, then right as you're about to leave, then get one smacked by a tryhard barbarian because you were too close to exiting to use a potion. Now to get yourself into deeper trouble into the ice caverns, we're going to take a leap of faith and we're going to jump into the void. To get to the void on the ice caverns, you're going to head to the bottom part of the map. There you will find 2 rooms. There it's pretty easy to figure out because it's just darkness under your feet. Now before you dive in, Greg Louganis, you're going to want to check and make sure that that void is a red hue, because red will keep you fed. So they said before I lost my kids' college fund in Vegas. And finally, you have the Forgotten Castle, which in my opinion is the funnest of all the maps. Again, it has multiple fun ways to exit, and there is 3 layers to the map. Now, how do you explore the other 2 layers? Well, we're going to go back to our mini map and look for those little stairs. But instead of them being blue, they're cute little red ones. They're cute little red ones. Now, number 3 on the most searched questions for Dark and Darker is, how do you use spells in Dark and Darker? This question could be a complete video in its own, but for the sake of this, we're just going to break it down for you ding-dongs like me who are new to these kind of games. It's actually not as simple as just picking out a spell and using it. To use spells in Dark and Darker, you can choose between a wizard, a warlock, a cleric, a bard, or the newest member to the spell family, the druid. Each of these classes has an abundance of spells and combination of spells that you can tailor to your playstyle. See, in Dark and Darker, each spell costs knowledge points, and each character has a set amount of spell memory. The better the spell, for the most part, the higher the knowledge points will be. So to get the most bang for your buck out of your spells, look for and use gear that has knowledge and memory capacity bonuses. Once you have your gear all smart and shit, because it's got freaking knowledge and memory now, it's time to use the spells! To use the chosen spells in combat, all you need to do is use Q or E, depending on which keybind you have for your spell memory. Q and E are the default controls. If you've changed that, I don't know what to tell you. Howdy do, before we move on, I just wanted to remind you, go to the description below, click on that link for Freshen Up Energy to get yourself the cleanest, tastiest, and healthiest energy formula on the market. Feeling a little bit dehydrated? That's okay, because Freshen Up Energy has the best freaking hydration formula as well. Make sure when you click on the link, use code GENIX at checkout for 20% off. Number 2 on the most Google searched questions for Dark and Darker. How do you progress in Dark and Darker? That's easy. Cut everybody out of your life. Friends, family, you're already dead inside beta fish, everybody. Then you're gonna spend the next, every last second of your time completing the designated quests so you can get XP and honor points towards those tavern turds. So then you can use their services to create really good gear. Then you're gonna lose said gear a few times because you keep getting stuck between a stupid torch and a rock, and a freaking mummy spider comes out of nowhere, starts clobbering you. Then repeat that process a few times. Then once you've built up a little bit of confidence, you're gonna use said gear to go solo bosses. Because once you got that dope gear, you're fast as fuck, boy! But then you're going to get third-partied by a bard or a warlock or whoever else heard you having a great time down there alone. Then you're going to lose all your gear again, and you're going to repeat that entire process a few times. Then once you have completed that process, you're going to do the same exact thing basically for High Roller. Except to progress in High Roller, you don't have to just give up your family, you got to give up hygiene as well. Fortunately, I'm kidding. If you're trying to progress in High Rollers, you've already given up your family, so really, you're only giving up hygiene at this point. Look, just quit the game now, save yourself a headache. And the #1 Google search for most asked questions about Dark and Darker is, how do you do well in Dark and Darker? I love this question because in this game, that's the best you can hope to do as well. Unless you sweaty. Girl, you know who you is, get loot or die trying. I see you. Look, we've all had those thought out plans and ideas of what we were going to do once we got down into the dungeon. But the beauty of this game is the uncertainty of what is to come. We can't predict where we're going to spawn, can't predict if we're going to be getting good loot, and we can't truly trust that sneaky son of a bitch rogue who all of a sudden disappeared the second you guys turned a corner. Doing well, it depends on you. You're the only one who can decide whether or not you did well when you went down into the dungeon. If you're going in to have fun like me most of the time, and you finish that map having fun, I'd say you did pretty well. Now, if you're a sweat, again, girl, I know who you is, get a little dark trying. Maybe doing well for you is defeating every single boss and sub-boss and PvE creature possible all in one match with a rusty dagger and no gear. But we're not all like that. And that's okay. So doing well in Dark and Darker, who gives a shit? If you're having fun or you're completing your goals, you're doing well. Click out of this stupid ass video and go play some Dark and Darker. But if you are still watching, be sure to tell your mom and tell your daddy, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your grandpa, tell your grandma, tell your uncle, tell your auntie, tell your primo and prima, hit that subscription button and also click that bell so you know when I post. And remember, be good to people.